There are three things that, once gone, will never come back: time, words, and opportunity. You cannot catch a second that is past. Whether you cry, beg, or wish, time still moves forward coldly, waiting for no one. Every moment you live is unique, and when it passes, it becomes the past, an untouchable land, only to be regretted or proud of. Words, once spoken, can become a double-edged sword, to heal or to destroy. You can apologize, you can regret, but you cannot take back what you have said. A sentence spoken in anger can crack a deep friendship. A timely word of encouragement can save a desperate soul. Just one word, but it can change someone's life. So choose your words as if you are planting seeds in the mind of others, because they will sprout, for good or evil, depending on you. Opportunity is the most fragile thing. It often does not knock twice. Many people have lost love, dreams, or even their entire lives, just because they were one step too late, because they hesitated between fear and expectation, because they thought that tomorrow would still be there. But life does not wait for you to be ready. Opportunity does not wait for you to be confident enough. It comes and goes like the wind, only those who are alert and courageous enough can grasp it. You cannot control time. You cannot take back the words you have said. And you cannot go back to seize the opportunity that has passed. But you can do one thing: choose. Choose to live each moment to the fullest, as if it were your last. Choose to say loving words, at the right time, in the right way, as if it were the last time you could say them. And choose to seize the opportunity as soon as it comes, as if it were the last boat to take you to your dream destination. Time, words, and opportunity. Don't take them for granted. Treat them as the three most sacred treasures you have ever been given. Because once they are gone, nothing, no one, and never can bring them back. You can't go back in time. But you can start over, right now. Throughout your life, you will encounter many opponents. There are people who compete with you at work, people who challenge you in your studies, people who are jealous of your success, people who want to pull you down so they can lift themselves up. But the truth is that the most dangerous, powerful, and persistent enemy is yourself. No one holds you back as much as your inner fear. No one makes you procrastinate, fail, and give up as much as your self-doubt. No one brings you down like the voice in your head that whispers, "I can't." You are the only one responsible for your dreams. You are the only one who has to overcome laziness, overcome self-doubt, overcome even the small habits that seem harmless but are silently killing the future you once dreamed of. You can blame your circumstances, your family, society. But you cannot escape this truth forever. Backhand index pointing right, you are the only one who can save yourself. The one who says "I can" and the one who says "I can," both are right. That saying is not just philosophy. It is the key to destiny. Because belief creates reality. You believe you can change, you start walking. You believe you can't, you stand still forever. And the strange thing is, as soon as you start believing in yourself, the whole world will change. No one is born strong. But every day, you have the right to choose to train yourself, by waking up a little earlier, working a little harder, daring to step out of your comfort zone one more time. Every time you resist yourself when you want to give up, you are one step closer to the best version of yourself. You want to know what separates successful people from unsuccessful people? It's not luck. It's not inborn talent. It's the spirit of never-ending practice, never-ending progress, never-ending learning. Don't be afraid of the darkness within you. Face it, and you will see the light. You don't have to fight the world. You only have to defeat one person, the you of yesterday. And if you do that today, nothing, no one, can stop you. Life is not determined by what you dream, but by how you think and act in the face of harsh reality. Many people live in a hurry, rushing to succeed, but soon get lost in the path they have chosen. Why? Because they act without thinking and dream without planning. Success is not the result of running wildly, but the result of each step with thought, calculation, and clear strategy. Ponder and deliberate before you make a move. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to do it right. You don't have to go fast. You just have to go in the right direction. Life is a game of chess. The person who knows how to calculate the next 3 moves will always win over the person who only focuses on the current move. The strong person is not the one with a lot of strength, but the one who knows how to stop at the right time to observe, then act at the right time to win. Plan for what is difficult while it is easy. Do what is great while it is small. Don't wait for the waves to rise to learn how to swim. Don't wait for a crisis to find a way to cope. Great people don't wait for favorable circumstances to start. They create favorable times by thinking ahead. Every great achievement begins with small actions, done over and over again with perseverance and wisdom. Don't underestimate a simple action repeated every day. That is what is building the future you desire. But blind action is a double-edged sword. If you just rush forward without thinking, you may be heading straight towards the abyss. Success is not for those who are in a hurry, but for those who are calm, wise, and patient in choosing the right path. It is not the strongest that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the one most adaptable to change. The strong man is not he who roars in the crowd. He is he who sits quietly alone, thinks, calculates, and then acts with astonishing awareness. Don't do much. Do it right. Don't go fast. Go steady. Don't rush to succeed. Succeed wisely. Some people live in sad memories and call it life. Some people live in fear of what has not happened and call it worry. And there are those who, very rarely, live fully in the present and call it peace. If you are depressed, you are living in the past. If you are anxious, you are living in the future. If you are at peace, you are living in the present. That saying is not just philosophy. It is the naked truth that we avoid. The past, whether beautiful or painful, is dead. No matter how much you cry, how much you long for it, you cannot go back and change a single second. The future, whether bright or scary, has not yet arrived. It is an uncertain thing, and the more you think about it, the more you lose the present. The present is the only thing that exists, the breath you are taking, the heartbeat, the light where you are standing. But paradoxically, people are often not in the only place where they can truly live this moment. How many times have you eaten a meal but your mind was somewhere else? How many times have you watched the sunset but your heart was still thinking about someone who was no longer there? How many times have you walked through life but felt like you were not really living? Because you are carrying both the past and the future on your shoulders, forgetting that now is where you can act, choose, and change. When anger rises, think of the consequences. Emotions, whether anger, anxiety, sadness, are not your enemies. But if you do not control them, they will control you. A moment of anger can destroy a relationship. A bout of anxiety can make you lose an opportunity. A prolonged sadness can suffocate the will to live that remains in you. No one teaches us how to control our emotions. But everyone who has touched peace has learned one thing. Backhand index pointing right emotions are not destiny. Emotions are just signals. And you are the driver. Learn to sit still with emotions. Learn to look inside instead of blaming outside. Learn to breathe and smile, even when your heart is storming. That is not weakness. That is the ultimate power of the awakened person. You cannot change the past. You cannot control the future. But you can live fully in the now, the only place that is real, and where all miraculous transformation begins. If you spend your whole life chasing after things, you will never feel fulfilled. If you always want more, higher, faster, you will only see life as a race without a finish line, where you are exhausted, but never rest. But then one day, you stop. You look back. And you realize. Backhand index pointing right peace has never been in having more, but in knowing enough. He who is satisfied with his lot is rich. He who knows how to be satisfied with what he has, is the truly rich person. Today's society teaches you to be better than others. You have to have more to prove your worth. You have to show off to be loved. But each hasty step takes you further away from yourself. You lose sleep over achievements, lose friends because of comparison, lose happiness because you always feel lacking. And then you suddenly understand, what you lack is not material things, but inner peace. Some people sleep in a mansion but their hearts are empty. Some people eat a simple bowl of rice but their hearts are as light as clouds. Not because they have a lot, but because they know how to let go at the right time. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. Letting go does not mean giving up on your dreams. It means stopping attaching your happiness to uncertain things. It means daring to live simply, daring to laugh when you are empty-handed, daring to be happy when you have nothing to prove. The less you desire, the more open your heart is. The less you calculate, the more peaceful your mind is. The less you hold on, the easier it is to fly away. There is no disaster greater than not being content. Knowing enough does not make you passive. On the contrary, it is the foundation for you to act with a steady mind, not being dragged down by blind ambition. It helps you master yourself, not be controlled by money, fame, or comparison. In a world that is constantly racing, the one who knows when to stop is the one who is going the fastest. In a society that is noisy and boastful, the one who lives quietly and simply is the real hero. You don't need the whole world to feel that you are enough. You just need a grateful soul, a light heart, and a gaze that sees happiness in the most ordinary things. There is one thing that will always be loyal to you, never betray, never lose, never fall apart, that is knowledge. But paradoxically, people are often lazy to learn the things that will lift them up, and rush into the things that will drag them down. Have you ever met someone who always talks like they know everything, but when it comes to action, they are completely lost? Have you ever seen someone with a lot of degrees, but an empty heart, not knowing how to live properly? That is the difference between knowing how to read and knowing how to live, between knowledge and wisdom. Learning without thought is labor lost, thought without learning is perilous. Learning without thinking is useless, thinking without learning is dangerous. Knowledge is not something you just cram into your head to take an exam. It is the fire that lights the way, the map that helps you not get lost in the chaos of life. But that fire will die if you don't keep it burning every day, by reading, observing, experiencing and doubting even the things you were sure of. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. Don't be afraid of not knowing. Be afraid of stopping learning and thinking you know everything. The bigger the ego, the narrower the door to learning. Only when you are humble can you listen. And only when you know how to listen, will you see that this world has so much to discover? Tell me and I will forget. Show me and I may remember. Involve me and I will understand. Learning is not just about receiving. Learning is action, practice, and living with the mind of a seeker of truth. You cannot become wise by simply memorizing. You must live what you learn, and let it transform you. Knowledge is not a destination. It is a journey. And the journey never ends if you have a heart that yearns for knowledge, and a mind that admits. Backhand index pointing right, I never know enough. In an age where everyone is in a hurry to speak, the truly admirable person is the one who knows how to be silent to learn, to nod to understand, and to use wisdom to light the way for himself and others. Because learning is not to be better than others. Learning is to be a person. In this life, you will be judged not by what you have, but by how you treat others when you may not need to be nice. Everyone has times of success, times of failure. Everyone has times of strength, times of weakness. But true character is not shown when you are praised, but revealed when you have to face jealousy, slander, misunderstanding and betrayal. What will you do when you are offended? How will you treat people who do not like you? Are you tolerant enough to forgive? Kind enough to stay silent in the face of nonsense? Courageous enough to choose kindness over retaliation? Do not do to others what you do not want done to yourself. Some people choose to live by competing, arguing, and teasing. Some people choose to stay silent, smile, and walk with unsullied dignity. And then time will decide everything. Live for the praise of others and you will become their prisoner. You do not live to please others. You live to be true to yourself. Kindness does not need an audience. Kindness does not need applause. How you treat the weaker, the people who cannot benefit you, that is the measure of your morality. To lead people, follow them. A great leader is not someone who shouts or orders, but someone who lives by example, speaks humbly, acts compassionately. A true friend is not someone who stands by you when you succeed, but someone who stays when the whole world turns its back. You cannot control how others treat you, but you can absolutely choose how you react. Cultured response is a sign of maturity. Nobility does not come from status, but from how you treat people who are different from you, disagree with you, or even dislike you. And remember, backhand index pointing right kindness never goes out of style. Backhand index pointing right character is the only thing that stays with you until the end of your life. Backhand index pointing right and a heart that thinks of others is the most valuable asset of a person. When someone hurts you, when you are betrayed, insulted, stepped on when you are weakest, the first feeling is anger. Even revenge. Wanting them to pay, to suffer as you did. That is instinct. Human. But then you will realize one thing: anger is a fire that burns the person who holds it first. As for hatred, it does not imprison your enemy, but imprisons your own soul in an invisible prison. Before you embark on a journey of revenge, dig 2 graves. You can retaliate. You can hurt others. But at what cost? Your heart is hardened. Your mind is taken over by darkness. Your heart loses its tenderness. And the cruelest thing is, the person who hurt you may have long forgotten. And you are still carrying that wound every day, feeding it with hatred, until it eats away at you. Forgiveness does not mean letting go of mistakes. Forgiveness is freeing yourself from the shackles of the past. It is the courage to put down the knife, so as not to turn yourself into someone like the person who hurt you. You are controlled by the one who makes you angry. They make you angry? That means they control your emotions. They make you lose your temper? They win. Backhand index pointing right, but if you can stay calm, keep your heart as clear as water, you are the stronger person. Not in real life, but in your own inner battle. Forgive not because the other person deserves it, but because you deserve peace. You may not forget, but you can choose not to let the past imprison the future. You can choose to live in the light, instead of carrying the darkness with you for the rest of your life. To forgive is to set a prisoner free, and then discover the prisoner was you. You are strong not when you retaliate with bitterness. You are strong when you dare to be gentle in a world full of hurt. For forgiveness is the height of kindness. And those who forgive are those who are never defeated. Have you ever seen a mountain? Soaring, towering, seemingly inviolable. It makes people afraid, overwhelmed. And just like the big dreams in your life, sometimes just thinking about it, you want to give up. But then there is a saying, simple, but enough to awaken a great fire in you. The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. You don't have to do it all today. You just need to start, even if it's a very small thing. No great person is born great. No great dream is formed overnight. All great things begin with a first step. That step may be shaky. It may be slow. It may not be supported, it may not be applauded. But more important than any praise, it proves that you have not given up on yourself. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Persistence, not flashy, not noisy, is the secret weapon of world conquerors. They are not smarter than you. They are not stronger than you. They are just a little more patient than you every day. And little by little, they move mountains. What about you? How many times have you given up because you have not seen results? How many times have you been jealous of other people's success without knowing how many rocks they have passed? How many times have you had a dream, but then it died because you felt too small? No. You are not small. You are just not persistent enough to grow. And today, you can change everything. By rolling up your sleeves and moving the first stone. Write the first line. Learn a small skill. Save some money. Break a bad habit. Whatever it is, just start. And you will see. No dream is too big. Only the heart is not strong enough.